Hey humanity, lightworkers, starseeds, healers. We are now arriving towards the great transition of humanity towards ascension. And there are a lot of souls who are suffering now, either having family difficulties or work difficulties or having problems trying to find work or having separations, emotional and mental stress. I've been asked to do these podcasts for many months now, and I wasn't really very keen to do podcasts like this, to put myself out there, to feel vulnerable in the sense that I feel very exposed. But then I am getting myself to keep myself in balance to do these podcasts for humanity. The first thing that I would like to touch on is the self-empowerment and using tools like our emotion, feelings, and mental state of being. Our thoughts and emotional feelings are not who we are. These are tools for us to work with. We use it in our every moment of our now, in the I am presence. When we attach these tools of emotions and fleeting thoughts, we are allowing the tools of emotions and thoughts to open the door of ego, to instill it further and to stay longer in our state of being, in our now, within our divine I am presence. In this state of ego, we are allowing ourselves to operate from a conditioned personality, which is also an egotistic mental state of being. It is based on some kind of character, which is the energy that's external of our divine self. Ego is external of self. It is outside of us. It is what we perceive. These egotistic tools dictate our state of being, dictating our decisions, allowing it to dictate and overlay or cover up our spiritual evolution. You know, when we are angry, when we are sad, when we are, all these are part of ego. Again, in all my podcasts, there isn't any kind of like good or bad, right or wrong. Because on this earthly journey, we have been programmed in duality state of being. In any circumstances, there are good or bad, you are better, you are better looking, you are more intelligent. There's always some kind of comparison, which we shouldn't allow ourselves to be in that state of being. Comparing ourselves with somebody else, that means we are telling ourselves that we are never good enough. We are always and forever good enough. We are divine souls, the spark of our creator, or the God creator, you want to call it, or the one infinite God, source. So for now, during this great transition of humanity towards ascension, it is really, really important that we need, as light workers, as starseeds, as general populace of humanity, we need to learn to balance ourselves. Balance in the sense that we do not compare with other people, with our neighbors, with our friends, with our colleagues, with our relatives, with our siblings. You can't compare because each one of us, we are all different. We're all different souls. We engage differently, we perceive differently, we feel differently, even laugh. We laugh differently, these are the things that you can't compare. So balance is self-empowerment. You need to be able to balance your emotions, your anger. Of course, you have to go through the process of being sad. You have to go through the process of being angry. You have to go through the process of confusion. You have to go through the process of um, frustration. We allow ourselves to be in that state because then we are acknowledging it. And we said, it's all right. It is all right. It is all right to be angry. You know, as long as you are in a state whereby we humans, we are generally good people, right? We are not crazy people that say when you're angry you go around hurting people, right? That is not the way. You can't solve a problem, like violence with violence. No, you can't do that. Because then when you because you keep adding the frequency together. When you keep adding it together, it is like this. It will merge, and once it merge, it will explode. You can't solve violence with violence. It's the same thing with anything else. If you are feeling angry, acknowledge it. If you're feeling sad, you're feeling sorrowful, you're feeling frustrated, or that or you're feeling that you think that people are thinking that you're never good enough. That is not the truth. The truth is that you are enough. But because in the state of emotions that you are feeling so angry and frustrated, that why is it that you're not being acknowledged? It's all right. It's all right to feel it. It is all right to feel, to be in that moment. You process it authentically. Process yourself authentically. Be who you need to be in that moment, in the here and now. Because we all have to live in the here and now. The here and now is the most important moment. Not 2 seconds past, not 2 seconds before. All right, not in the past, not in the future, but in the now. Like I'm talking to you now, we are in the now. All right, you're listening to me now is in the now, here and now. So you need to be in the here and now. If you're angry, feel it, bring it up to the surface. All right, I'm feeling it. Acknowledge it. And then you ask yourself, what can I do to balance the situation? What can I do to balance the situation so that I can resolve it and I can feel it and I can let go? Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, maybe a few days later, it depending on how serious or how severe the situation that you are in, right? There's no such thing as I'm angry now, so okay, I'm done. All right. We all process ourselves differently. So the tool of emotions is all part of ego for us to learn. It's a tool. There's no right or wrong. Okay. If you're angry, it's not that you're in the wrong. Other people feel angry. It's not that they're in the wrong. They feel it. And that's the truth, right? And they too have to process that. True enough that some people process anger in a different way. If it's a road rage and people are driving in front of them and they say, oh dear, why are you cutting in? I'm so angry with you for doing that. Why is there a need to be angry? Why? Is it because that you felt something else differently before you go in a car and you drive that car? And when somebody else cut in front of you, you are very, very angry. Process it. Like maybe half a day, like maybe a few hours before you drive out. What actually happened? What is the true cause of it? You know? And the person who drives, who cuts in front of you, why? Again, that person may be also in a different state of being, and then they just cut in because they need to be hurry, 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 hurry all the time, That's what human beings are now like. They are always hurrying to somewhere, raring to go somewhere, wanting to be there at a certain time and place and whatever. All right. They are in their own reality. We are in our own reality. We have a choice, right? Okay, feel angry. Let it simmer for a while. Go and take a walk somewhere. Go and have a cup of coffee, or go and have a glass of cold drink, But processing is very important. Process it. Whatever emotions and mental state of being that you're in, process it. Acknowledge it. Feel it authentically. And then from then on, you tell yourself to simmer down, to calm, keep in a state of stillness, in a state of balance. Regardless, you might be breaking up with a partner or just had a screaming session with your mother or with your brother or with your sister. There is no need to act outwardly, but you can reflect. You have a choice. Every moment we have a choice. I can also choose to not give this podcast, right? But finally, I'm doing it. You see? That's the most important thing, is processing it. All right? And at the end of this situation, if I ever get to be where I'm supposed to be at, and that's a calling that I can't ignore, right? I'm processing it. And when I arrive at a situation, I might be looking back and seeing myself processing the procedure that I went through slowly to go forward and to arrive at this moment to be brave enough to sit in front of a camera and do this podcast. That is a process. That is acknowledging yourself authentically in a sense that you are brave enough to take on the job, to take on this project, to move forward and be who you truly are going to be, or who you should be in helping people to move forward, because we are moving forward. I am moving forward. I am moving forward in exposing myself up there in podcasts like this. So in whatever state or form that you're in, process it. Claim it. Claim it in real time. If you need to cool yourself down when you're driving, drive to a place where you can have somewhere to sit quietly and control. All right? Not control in a sense that, no, I shouldn't be angry. No. You control in the sense that you keep still and you are asking yourself, why am I like this? What happened a few hours before then? All right? So this podcast is to help people in the now. These are tools. Balance is a tool. Balance is self-empowerment. It is one of the most powerful tools that anyone can learn. And this is also self-mastery. All right? Master your emotions. Master your mental state of being. Master your thoughts. All right? For humanity, for most of human beings, every day we are on autopilot. Everything goes in our mind every moment. All right, every moment. Oh, afterwards I have to do this, and afterwards I have to do that. I have to be there somewhere. There's always something to think about. But you have to stop for a while, because if you keep doing this with this mental state of being, you are not you. This is not you. Okay, this is like a monkey mind. You just keep on going, and then jumping here and there. Oh, I forgot to do something, so I must be doing that first. No, you, you cannot go your mind on. You cannot allow your mind to go on autopilot. Autopilot is a very dangerous state of being, because you are just giving out all the thoughts. Do you know that our thoughts, our mind is a very powerful tool? This is on the mental plane. Mental plane. Okay, you're projecting it out there, mental plane. So if you're thinking rubbish, if you're thinking nonsense, you're thinking of this and that, but you're not thinking of what you are doing in the now, in the here and now. It is so very important. All right. Don't think about tomorrow. Don't think about yesterday. Don't think about last night. Don't think about 5 minutes ago. Think about now. I'm thinking about now what I'm saying to you, in the here and now. And this is authenticity. Authenticity. This is real time, being your real self. Okay, even if you are having a meal, chewing your food, eating whatever you're eating, all right, that is the here and now. Are you enjoying your food when you're eating? Are you enjoying your drink or your coffee, your morning coffee? Be there in the here and now. You must be there. You must be in that moment. you know when you're in your authentic self, nothing else can come in. Nothing, because you are true to yourself. The moment of being true to yourself is the most powerful tool on the whole planet. The most powerful tool. So if you can control your thoughts, okay, now I'm going to do this podcast. I tell myself I'm going to do this podcast authentically and put it out there for people who need to hear what I have to say, because I'm going through it. So when I'm going through it, I'm saying it out loud and broadcasting it to those who resonate, all right? Who resonate with these words that I'm saying out. It might help someone. It might help someone with a road rage issue, It might help someone who is like, when somebody says something, it triggers off the anger in them, But when you get angry, you still yourself. You still yourself. You say, wait, I'm going to process it in a very reflective mode. You reflect upon it. You don't react. Because when you react, you actually broadcasting it externally. When you broadcast it externally, it's not going to help any situation. It's not going to help you. First and foremost, you must come first. It doesn't help you. And it doesn't help the other people who are around you either. It doesn't work. Being reactive will never work. And it will never help you to be who you are supposed to be, a divine being. All of us are divine beings. So if we reflect, when we reflect, all right, being reflective is a very, very, very important state of being. Because when you are reflective, you stabilize yourself, you balance yourself, and you sit within yourself. You sit within yourself. When you're feeling sorrowful, you sit within yourself. And you can process from whence it happened, right? When did the sorrow first start? An argument? A deed that was done that was not justified? And then you got hurt, right? You want justification for everything. That is being reactive. But you have to understand this. You must come first. If you are reactive, you are not putting yourself first. You have to remember this. When you are reactive, you do not put yourself first. You sacrifice yourself. Because when you get angry and angrier, and when you are at the angriest, you know what will happen? You're hurting your soul. When you get reactive, you are hurting your soul. You're hurting yourself. Nobody else. You don't care about the other person being angry or shouting or whatever because they are hurting themselves, you know. They are hurting themselves, but that is not your problem. But when you are reactive, you're hurting yourself, and that is a problem. That is a very big problem because you're hurting your soul. When you're sorrowful because the other party didn't do what you expect it to happen, or what you expect the other person to do to meet your needs, to meet your requirement. Now, if you are requiring somebody to make you happy, if you're requiring someone to say something or do something so that you will be happy, then you are being very sorry to yourself because you are giving your power away. Now, these are tools, okay? There's nothing good or bad about it, or right or wrong. These are tools. Tools that our souls are using to journey on this earth. These are tools. You must remember that. All right? So what we feel within us when we are sorrowful and we are expecting the other party to do or say something to make us happy, then that's not the truth for you, at least. Only you can make yourself happy. If the other person is saying something that you do not like, it's okay. It's okay. You can reject it. You cannot perceive it. You cannot receive. Don't receive it. Don't accept it. All right? You don't have to. It doesn't mean that every day when someone says something, you have to accept it. No. All right? You cannot shrink yourself smaller because that person is saying something that is not nice. So if that person is saying something not nice, you don't have to receive it. You just say, thank you for whatever you want to say, but I don't accept it. And then you move on because you know your worth. All right. These tools are helping you to realize your self-worth. So when you are reflective, you are reflecting on how much you're worth. But when you are reactive, your self-worth is you're giving it away because you're depending on the other person to make you happy. You're depending on the other person to say and do what you expect them to. No, life doesn't work that way. Spirituality doesn't work that way. Spirituality is always within you, not what somebody wants to give to you. Sure, I mean, if somebody is loving you so much and giving you so much loving support, and giving you, I mean, not being a yes person, yes to you all the time. No, that is not a relationship. A relationship is a two-way street. Okay, it's a two-way street. So you really do need to understand that. When you say something and the other person is happy, that's a bonus. It is good, that at least you know that you and the other person is on the same frequency. All right, the same frequency is very important that you understand this. It is not easy to meet someone with a frequency. That's why people quarrel all the time. In a family with siblings and relatives and neighbors, you are all on different frequency, and there's no right or wrong about it. It's just that your frequency, it is not matched, right? It is not matched. So there's no right or wrong. Oh, my neighbor is always wrong because he's my neighbor is always doing this to irritate me. No. The person is being who they want to be and who they desire to be. All right. But if we label them as, on a low frequency, fine. But let them be who they need to be. That is their life. It is not for us to comment about who they need to be. You know, we don't care. Let them be. They want scream, shout, and do whatever they want to do, or sweep things over on your garden side. You know, somehow or other we will find solution to settle that. You know, but you don't need to be out there screaming at them or quarreling with them or having thoughts and say, oh, this neighbor is always doing this. No, because if you focus on that, then you will keep having it coming back to you, and the person will always be sweeping things over to your garden side. All right. So if your mind is focusing on that, then it will keep coming back until you learn. All right. It's the same with sorrow. It's the same with sorrow. If you feel sorrowful, you must process it. When did it first start? You go backward. When did it first start? If you can't do it today, it's okay. You ask your higher self and your angels and your guide and your spiritual guides to help you. All right. Go back. Ask them to keep going back. You revisit what happened. And then you find the spot of why or when it started. And then you process it. You balance it. You feel it. And then you feel the balance. You must feel the balance. And if you can't do it within today or next day or 1 week later, it's fine. It's all right. Because you're going through a process. All right. Not everybody can process it easily. Do you know that I went through 3 years of sorrow? 3 years. 3 years. My dad passed on. When my dad passed on 33 days later, all right, my older daughter, my first daughter died. 33 days. I didn't even have time to process when my dad transitioned. I didn't even have time to process that, you know. I mean, you know that old folks, you know, our aged parents, you know that there will come a time when they will be gone. They will transition, right? But when you actually arrive to a day when they actually transitioned, it's a different feeling altogether. Different feeling. Because that's when it actually happened, and then your heart feels differently again. Although you expect it because maybe they have been sick, or maybe you already know that their time is almost up because their life force, you know, you can tell if a person's life force is dimming. You can tell. You can almost tell that it is like within these few days or something like that. Or maybe in the next few months or something like that. You can feel it, you know. You can feel it. But when it actually happened, it hits you so bad. All right. So when it hits you so bad, the sorrow arrived and you have to process it. All right. You actually process it. You feel it in the here and now. Here and now, you need to process it in the here and now. When you're angry, you process it here and now. When you're sad, you process it here and now. Here and now, you must feel it and accept it. When they transition, all right? That's life. Then 33 days later, my daughter transitioned. It's another wham. And then at the mortuary, the lady asked me, do you want cremation or do you want a burial? Do you know what was my answer? I told her, I didn't plan for that. And that, I processed it. I had to process it. There's no choice, right? You're presented with it. That is life. If it happened, it happened. There's no going back. That's why it is imperative, it is extremely important. If you are set in the here and now is an extremely good, extremely important and good tool. In the here and now, you must process it. It's the start of processing it. You must feel it and understand that you need to go through it. You do not hide from it. Because when you hide from it, you're suppressing it, you suppress, and you keep suppressing it, and you keep suppressing it. And how many years are you going to suppress it? How many years? Are you not ever going to get through it? No, you still have to go through it. You still have to. Unless you want to carry it over to the next lifetime. Do you really want to do that? No. That's why it took me 3 years to process the hit, the crash of 33 days. 33 days of pain. And after that, you keep on bringing it forward and forward, and you process and process. 3 years to process. And it's not that I don't feel the pain. Of course I still feel the pain. I still acknowledge it. All right? Okay? But I don't want to take it with me to the next lifetime. That's not going to happen for me, at least. All right? So, this podcast is to let all of you know that there will come a time you can't get over it. It's okay. It is all right. You make peace with it. That's the most important thing. No blames. All right? No blames. Forgive yourself. Forgive others. Angry. Forgive others. Forgive self. Forgive self for hurting yourself by being angry and being reactive. Forgive yourself. That is part and parcel of life. It's the real thing. Authentic. Very authentic. All right? So I hope that this podcast is actually helping someone out there. Someone who need to pull through just another day. Another day, another week, another month, another year. Namaste. Be well. Be good to yourself. I love all of you so much. Take care.